1.34 million. Hey everyone, Battle Crom here. We are back in fishing North Atlantic. This is my quick start guide part 2 for the hard level. Now since I left off in episode 1 of this guide, we have been doing a bit of grinding. Let's go on here. As you can see, I've got quite a bit more money. So in episode 1, what we did is we covered using deep lining to quickly get yourself into the ocean runner. And I also demonstrated you to how profitable deep lining can be in the ocean runner. You're deep lining on scallop habitats. That way we can allow our other habitats to grow. So we basically just kind of fished through the whole month of August here. I did probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 more deep lining trips since I ended episode 1. Each one of those fishing trips probably took a good 45 minutes to run. Plus, now, if you figure time spent in port, like rebaiting and refueling and things like that, going to the bar to get information, probably about an hour per run, I guess. So it's several hours of gameplay. Okay, fish season. So we are at the end of August right now. Now, the best time to fish any season is right at the beginning when the season opens. So the next big seasons to come open are going to be lobster and crab. So if you fish, the best prices you're going to get during that whole season are going to be in November. Okay, you can see how lobster prices have been going up and up and up, and that's kind of what crab will do too. Up and up and up and up. And it's just going to continue to go up. You can't see like September and October yet, but they both are just going to continue to go up until it hits November. And then when it hits November, they're going to turn and they're going to start dropping down. So the game kind of simulates these price fluctuations with the seasons. With or without you. The only difference would be like if I were to start selling lobster in Ingalls Head in November, it might cause the price to drop a little bit faster than the game would normally simulate it. But the highest price you're going to get for lobster and crab is going to be in November when the season opens. So here, if we look at our cargo, going to quotas, you can see I completely tapped out the quota for tuna. And I fished 44,000 units or 44,000 kg of the swordfish. So we were doing a lot of fishing. Now you could proceed and if you want to do more deep line fishing, you could buy more quota. It would be expensive though. Buying quota is not cheap. There you go. See, like if we want to just get 60% more, which isn't that much really. I mean, it's okay. It cost us $1 million. Yeah, so at this point in the game, I don't think it's worthwhile for us to continue deep lining with the ocean runner because that $1 million we got to spend just to get an extra 60% quota, to me, isn't worth it. So we're here, we want to make some money, and we want to continue to fish on these sea scalp locations for now so we can let our other habitats grow. Okay, we can fish, we can also net fish, and we can long line fish with the ocean runner. Is pretty good at both of those. I don't recommend doing that yet. You could go and you could do some net fishing or long lining on these sea scallop locations, and you could get some good catches out of them, no doubt. But I don't want to fish those guys out yet. And the reason why I don't want to fish those guys out yet is because we have cod opening in December. And honestly, I don't want to start net fishing or deep lining in those sea scallop locations until we could take advantage of this cod season. Cod is a much more profitable fish than the other ones. They're also bigger fish, so they can fill your boat up a lot faster. And honestly, to really take advantage of that in December, I don't think I want to use the ocean runner to do that. Okay, so if you go here under the general menu, you can skip time. Just a cautionary note, I would not skip time if you have debt, because you have to make those monthly payments on the debt, and it's just going to chew up what money you have there if you're carrying debt. Right now we're debt free, so it's really not going to cost us anything at this point to skip time. Alright, here we are, November 2nd. So this should be November 1st was opening day for lobster and snow crab. So the prices should be at their highest right now. They're going to be for the whole snow crab and lobster season. Now we got a couple options here. Okay, if we were going to go crab, I would say get into the Scarlet here. Scarlet's pretty cheap. Okay, we went over to Ingalls Head. This is actually a pretty viable option right here for a lobster boat. This is a great lobster fishing boat. My only problem with this one is it has a small storage. This boat, this is one of the best boats in the game, in my opinion. This would be a great boat to get into for our lobster. Let's see, lobster. We got 1.8 million kg for our quota on that, and well, we'll have a hard time hitting that. But we can fish quite a bit of lobster here in November, as you can see if we have this boat. The other thing I like about this boat is it has 300 crab pots instead of the 200 that the Knott's Guilty has, and it has massive storage. So you can just lay down them crab pots and just fish away. You don't have to worry about running back to port to sell them or anything like that. So let's go ahead and take out our loans and let's see if we can get into it. If we can at least get into it, then we can sell the Ocean Runner and use the money we get from the Ocean Runner to do some upgrades on this and buy our crab pots. Okay, that puts us at 7 million. That's enough now to buy this boat. I mean, that's about as quickly up through the, I think, chain of boats as you can go. This boat right here is a boat we're probably if you get into this boat, you'll probably just keep it. You'll buy other boats, but you'll probably keep this boat. It's so good, you're not going to want to get rid of it. Alright, so we need to go over here now. Let's go ahead and sell the Ocean Runner. Okay, let's go back down here. First thing we want to do is we want to rig this guy for lobster. Let's do that. Let's go ahead and buy our lobster pots now because we want to make sure we have... I want to see how much money we got left for everything else. Now, we're going to go with the steel. You go with the steel because, according to the wiki for this game, you will catch 30% more lobster with a steel cage as opposed to that one. I know it costs twice as much, but that 30% is huge. I mean, just think about 30% more lobster. We're going to buy all of them. This is expensive. This is one of the reasons why I need that money. It costs $300,000 to buy these 300 pots, but it's going to be worth it. Let's go to the town here. We need to pick up some more crew. So we need at least one guy who's good at pot hauling, and then everybody else just needs to be good at sorting. Oh, and we need one guy who's good at baiting and setting. So we got a pretty good baiter and setter right now. He also could double as a pot hauler. He's got pretty good skill on that. Unless we see someone who stands out better. Okay, let's see who we got now, because all we really need for this is 4 guys. Baiting and setting. This really impacts how fast we can lay down our pots. He's currently 11. Let's get him up to a 15 on that. Okay, let's go ahead and upgrade Pearl's pot hauling skills just a little bit more. Let's get her up to a 15 on that. Okay, there we go. Sorting crabs is at 12 there. It's at 12 there. And pot hauling at 15. Okay, storage. Honestly, we don't need upgrade storage on this boat. Not right now. Not for lobster fishing. Get our sonar upgraded though. That's only 20,000. Let's get that. Sure, we'll do the searchlight. We do want to do autopilot. Yeah, let's go ahead and do the engine. And we'll just upgrade that a little bit there. I don't know how important it'll be for that radar, but we'll just go ahead and throw that in there. We got our sonar. Oh yeah, let's upgrade our buoys. As far as these other upgrades go, we're not going to need them for lobster right now. I think we got everything we need for lobster. So that's 192,000 upgrades. There we go. Lobster bait's cheap though. We'll just buy all 60 of them. It's only $100 per something, and that's really not that much money. We'll take Pearl, have Pearl start preparing some bait. And then Michael can go and start preparing the pots. So we're going to apply the same principles as before. We're not going to lay down a string of pots until we actually see lobster on the sonar. The autopilot's kicking in. Okay, so we're going to wait till we see lobster pop up down here within 100 meters of the boat. We're going to leave our strings at 20. That just makes it easier. The bigger the strings you got, the easier it's going to be. Alright, there's our first lobster. So let's throw down these pots. Okay, we just laid down our 8th one. I am going to do, just as a precautionary measure, I'm going to jump ahead time just a little bit here. Alright, all 15 strings of pots are down. Let's move our boat back over here close to the first string so we can pick it up. Alright, got our boat in position. Okay, we just got to skip ahead in time here, and then we'll retrieve our pots and see how well we did. Let's see if our hauler is able to keep up with our sorters here. I like to get a good balance there, make sure that, yeah, the sorters aren't waiting on the hauler. So that's good. They're definitely not waiting on the hauler. She's waiting on them. Once we get them all up to level 20, it works out pretty good. Alright, that's the last string right there. We pulled in all strings of the pots. We got just a tad over 90,000 kgs, 90,000 kilograms. Well, it looks like Dennis Point's got our high price right now. They're at $22.57. That's a pretty good price there. Okay, so let's head to Dennis Point to sell these lobster. Alright, let's see what we do here. 1.34 million. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Just for the heck of it, we're going to throw a tuna down on that. Just for, that way we know that we've done that one before. Because I don't want to re-fish. Okay, my experience is you get one really good run. So that run was the equivalent of going into an actual lobster habitat with a high population level. If I go back there again, it's going to be much lower. It's going to be closer to fishing it like fishing an actual lobster habitat, closer to like a low level. That's just the way it is with crab and lobsters and fish. The only exception to that is, like I said, deep lining. Deep lining, you can seem to fish it multiple times where you really start to fish it out. Okay, so that one's done. We got 1.3 million out of that. We got 5 more sea scallop habitats to go. I've only discovered 5 of them. The 6th one is over here somewhere. Eventually we'll find it. We just got to keep hitting the bar. And eventually someone's going to give us a tip to tell us where it is. Not in this bar, not today. Right here. This is how I would do this. So get your 5 fishes in on your lobster, on the sea scallops, and then as soon as cod opens, we're going to go in, because remember, we haven't fished them yet. Other than tuna, we haven't gone in there. We haven't run any long lines or any nets yet. Okay, so we got most everything's in medium now. We don't have anything in high yet. We still got a couple lows left, but not too bad. Okay, so basically, yeah, you saw our habitats are improving. So we'll fish our lobsters here. We'll fish them in scallops. We'll hit the cod season. Okay, then what I would probably do at that point is, I don't know, once our quota resets, go ahead and fish out. You know, if you want to go into those habitats again, the scallop habitats, you know, maybe hit them for some crab or something if you want. Fish them out a little bit more here early into the year, and then probably I would just push time forward into the end of the year. And then here in the end of the following year, at the start of the crab and lobster season and the cod season, you'll be able to go into the actual habitats with high populations at that point, and you'll be able to roll in the dough. Because once the populations hit high on those habitats, they're going to fish just as well as these scallop ones are. Also, at some point, you know, you might even, because you're probably early into the year next year, you're going to have scallop habitats starting to get into high. And if you crank out, you fish enough lobsters, enough cod, and you really bring in enough money, I mean, you could probably go and buy Viking Power. Viking Power, well, just, it kills it on scallops. It fishes so many up per net. I mean, scallops are very profitable on Viking Power. Basically, though, you kind of only want to fish those scallops ones when they're in high. So, like when those the first three go into high, you get out the old Viking Power and you just fish one of them until it drops into medium, then go to the next one, fish it till it drops into medium, go to the next one until it drops into medium, and then go sell your catch. That's kind of what I do. Okay, so you've seen how profitable this lobster fishing could be on the Arctic Pioneer. We just brought in 1.3 million. So that's quite a jump up from what we were pulling in longline in on our Ocean Runner. That's more than double. The cod fishing in December will probably bring in pretty close to the same as we just hauled in on lobster. Because the way we'll do that is we'll go with long lines into the scalp habitats. We'll bait them for cod, and so that way we pull in mostly cod. If you go in there with nets, you're going to pull in a mixture of everything. Normally when I'm fishing, say a habitat, like if I go into a cod habitat or pollock habitat, I kind of prefer net fishing, and I usually end up net fishing instead of long lining. But in the scalp habitats, we want to get primarily cod out of there, so you're gonna want to long line them. But hey, I hope this second part of the guide was helpful to you. Maybe not as helpful as the first part, but mainly I just kind of want to show you how I would proceed going forward after part 1, which quickly gets you into an Ocean Runner. And as you can see, using that Ocean Runner deep line fishing, I quickly got us into the Arctic Pioneer. Arctic Pioneer is one of the best fishing boats in the game. There are many really good fishing boats in the game. This is one of the best ones right here. I personally prefer this as my top dog for lobster fishing, which is why we did that. But this is also my favorite boat for long lining and netting also. Not talking about trawling, I'm talking about just regular netting. But I appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you in part 3.